The consequence of America's imposition of tariffs could disturb supply chains, increase prices for consumers, impact profits, and maybe could also lead to job losses as a worst-case scenario. But the lopside of the argument is also the fact that Trump's tariffs action could also push companies to build manufacturing units over there in America and as a result open more opportunities for companies. But which companies will suffer and who will take the most beating? My colleague Puneet is joining me here to give us a sense of exactly that. Puneet, where exactly are we seeing the pain point?
Well, definitely. We are seeing some companies that already cater to the US market through exports are getting the most impacted. So we are seeing one of the biggest impacts on Tata Motors because that operates the Jaguar and Land Rover franchise. And most of the manufacturing happens in the UK. So they are exporting from the UK to the US. And we are seeing that kind of impact today on Tata Motors because more than 1.1 lakhs units is what Jaguar and Land Rover had sold in the US specifically in the last year. So we are seeing that kind of tariff impact yesterday, and currently no manufacturing is what JLR has currently in the US. They have about 12 plants globally. 5 of them are in the UK, but currently they're not having any plants locally. And that's why on the OEM side specifically, essentially the car maker side, we are seeing this impact on Jaguar Land Rover as being the biggest one. We are also seeing, while some recovery has happened from the day's lows, across stocks such as Bharat Forge, Sona BLW, as well as Samvardhana Motherson. And if we can pull those up on screen together, because most of these automakers cater to the export market as well as export countries, specifically like the US, the Mexicos, and the Canadas of the world. And these are expected to have some more impact on all these automakers and auto component makers specifically. While Trump has mentioned that there is some impact specifically on engines, transmission, powertrain parts, and that's come in the clarification in the new tweet as well. But overall, there's a definitive impact on the car makers, and now we are seeing also the impact on the auto component makers as well.
Okay, understood. So, would it be right to say that as compared to full-fledged car makers and automobile component makers, we could see more impact on that side?
Well, definitely. We're going to see a lot more impact on the auto component side as well. And US imports roughly about $200 billion of auto components every year. And while there are players and countries such as Mexico, Canada, who have a higher exposure compared to India. So India currently just $2 to $3 billion in terms of exports for auto components. The biggest ones, Mexico, at roughly about $35 billion. We have seen impacts such as on Canada as well at roughly about $12 billion. So definitely these players are impacted majorly, and we are seeing also the impact on US automakers as well, because they have a lot of their plants in Mexico as well, the likes of Ford, the likes of General Motors. So it's definitely going to have a lot of impact across these players, and it's come 6 days before. So it was expected to come in on April 2nd. The announcement has just come out now, taken everyone by surprise. But that definitely is an impact going forward across auto component makers as well.